Ana Ribeiro, who's the creative director at Arvore. Born and raised in northeastern Brazil, she's gained local and worldwide recognition for her creativity and exploration of VR games and creation of the nostalgia-fueled game Pixel Ripped, earning her multiple awards and even carrying the 2016 Olympic torch with a VR headset on her head. But before starting her career in game design, she ran a successful business selling pies, and she worked for over 5 years on divorces at the Justice Council. Today, she has a master's in game design at NFTS UK, degrees in game programming and psychology. She also cosplays Pixel Ripped's main character, Dot, loves making and especially eating sushi, and never passes on the opportunity to sing 2 Minutes to Midnight when the time comes at karaoke nights. Anna, it's so good to have you here. Thank you for joining. Or Dot, perhaps?
Yeah, I'm dressed in my normal clothes, actually. I'm not cosplaying a normal person. Thanks for having me, and thanks, Josh. It's an honor to be here. So many talent women here, right? It's amazing. Yeah, and thanks everyone that is watching us right now, right? On our live.
Yeah, thank you. It's so fantastic. I'm really excited to hear about Pixel Ripped and your experience. Please take it away.
So my talk, it's more like experience. Inspirational talk where I'm gonna be sharing with you guys how was my journey from a pie business owner until I became a VR developer and create this game where I'm cosplaying the main character right now. So 10 years ago, I used to work at the Justice Council. I was working there for 5 years. This is back in 2009. In Brazil, when you work for the government, it's considered like a dream job. You have to do a lot of exams, a lot of tests. It's really hard to get a place there. And it's a place where people want to get a job there and retire and work for the rest of their lives. But for me, that work, it was killing me inside. It wasn't fulfilling my dreams. I like creating, and I remember something that used to frustrate me so much that you couldn't change the font of the documents. They all need to be Times New Roman, and it was really hard to imagine myself on that career. So I think in a kind of escape from the bureaucracy, I started to make pies to my friends, and I started bringing pies to my colleagues, and they really like it. There was like pizza flavor, chicken, meat, hot dogs, all the flavors you can imagine. This in Brazil is actually called the empadas. And people in the corridor start asking me, they smell the pies, and they're like, please, could you bring it for us too? And then when I realized I was selling the whole building, and then the building next door, and then I was contracting people for selling the pies. I was people cooking the pies. I was kind of administrating this business that in 3 months, I was selling like 4,000 pies a month, and it escalated pretty quick. So the customers started asking me, hey, we want a place that we can go and buy those pies, a pie shop. And I thought, okay, I have then to plan myself and open this pie shop and make a proper business. So I started to create the empadas quero mais, which means I want more. And then as a preparation for this, I did a course, which is like a startup course where you get prepared to become an entrepreneur. And this was like a really intense 1 week course. And one question was put to me in that course that really, really changed my whole life. So they do like simple questions like, where you want your business to be in 5 years? And you're like, okay, my pie will be here in my hometown. 10 years, maybe I will have some pie shops also in Brazil, another states. What about in 50 years? All right, pies in the whole world. Everyone deserves pies. And then they ask you, okay, well, you want to be in 5 years, 10 and 15 years. And then I realized, what? I don't want to be making pies for the rest of my life. And then they ask you a question and make you really think about it. Like, imagine you don't have anything, any past. You don't have a business. You don't have a course. you don't have a career, you don't have a family or friends. Imagine that your life started right now, at this moment, that you have a chance to really start a life from scratch. And for the first time, I give myself the opportunity to think what I want. What Anna wants? What do I want to do? What I really like doing? And I think having this is such a simple question, right? That we should ask ourselves more. And sometimes life takes us to places that we don't even realize that time flies. And when I saw myself, I was like selling pies, working in the Justice Council. I was all over the place. I was so lost. And having this opportunity, this question, it was really important to find myself and finding what I really love. And it was so easy for me to realize I love playing games. I have been playing games my whole life, since I can remember. Video games have been part of my life in the best moments with my brothers and family and friends. I grew up like playing in the 80s, so I remember the first video game you have in the house was the Odyssey 2 from Atari, Nintendo. Until I even had a Counter-Strike female team where we used to train professionally. It's something that is the only thing I can think about. I was thinking that it's consistent, that I love it, that was part of my love my whole life until now. So I thought, wow, this is actually something I can think about it. I can imagine myself from 5 years making games, and 10 years and 15 years. This is actually a career that I can imagine even longer. I can imagine actually working on this my whole life. So I was like really excited because finally click it, and I found myself, and I told all my family and friends, okay, I'm going to become a game developer. I'm going to make games. And everyone's like, wow, but you don't even know, you just play games. I didn't know how to make games, had no experience. Everyone thought she's going crazy. She's going to leave that amazing job, that stable dream job. And then I took the question really deep, and I really started my life from scratch. I flew to England. I got money I had saved from my pies, and I sold my car, and I got all these savings, and I did a games programming course at SA London, and then I applied for a master's degree at the NFTS. And then I started learning programming, making games, everything. Like I didn't know even Photoshop at the time or Unity. So it really felt like I started a life from zero. I was in a different country, different culture, new language, a new career. This photo is at the NFTS where I saw snow for the first time. So it felt like my life had started 10 years ago. And at this master's degree, you have like the last year of the course. You have a whole year where you can make your final project. And then I had bought the Oculus DK1, the Oculus Developer Kit 1. Many of you here probably have one or, of course, heard about it, but this was the first Oculus Rift. This is before anything was released. So I had this in 2013, and since I tried out, I was mind-blown, and I was so excited to do anything with it. I really want to make a game for VR. So I knew my final project need to be VR, but I didn't want to make anything just for the sake of it. I really want to make a game that could use the best of the media and make something that was impossible to do in any other media apart from VR. So I created Pixel Ripped, which is a time machine where players can go back in time and play games the way it used to be. We like to say it's a love letter to the history of video games. Just to explain a little bit better, imagine that on Pixel Ripped 1989 that you see on the left, you are playing a game in a classroom, and that game you're playing in the game, it's called Pixel Ripped. But then while you're playing that game, you have to look around because you are in the middle of a lesson, and the teacher gets really angry if she sees you playing, and she gets you, it's game over. So you have to hide your game to complete that game within the game. It's kind of like Inception of video games. So it's also like a game that I like to say it's a game for gamers. And I put a lot of my personal experience. It's kind of a game about my life, my childhood. And after like the demo was ready in the first year, there was a place where people, developers could go and share the work, the experience they doing in the games. There was no Oculus store at the time. This is a long time ago, guys. So, 2014, I decided, okay, I have this demo ready. I'm going to put it there, share with other developers, get feedback, and, maybe get a job. And I put the game on the Oculus Share, and the game, surprisingly, I was really surprised, got in the first place. And YouTubers started to play the game, and content creators, and there was like 5 million views in total in the first 3 months, in total 45 YouTubers playing. I got like a lot of prizes, and the game got a lot of attention from the press. Investors started approaching, and then I realized, oh wow, I may have to open this company. Maybe this game is good. So I decided to open the business, and of course there was a long journey there, from many ups and downs. We had a Kickstarter that failed, went to Silicon Valley, I moved to America, and I got some funding from Accelerator. They invest in VR companies. And then there was a whole year where the money was all ended, and then I was self-funding the project with friends helping me out, remotely working, amazing developers, really talented, that would work when they had free time. But it was really hard to complete such a complex project. So finally, 3 years after on this road of this, working on this game, I found the best match, Arvory, which is the publisher and the co-developer. And the reason why I came back to Brazil, and I like to say here that through this whole journey, I had a hard time to find the right publisher, investors, people that really value your work and respect your vision. It's really hard, especially for women on this field, to get this respect and to get a publisher that really not just invests on your project, but also makes it their own and are passionate about it and respect your vision as a director. So it really had been working really well. We just released it. We released it in 1989 on 2018. And this year, during the pandemic, in the middle of the chaos, we managed to release Pixel Rip 1995, which was the second episode. And now I want to show you guys a little video showing all this adventure we've been through since the release of this game. So yeah, this journey has taken me farther than I could ever dream it. And if I talk to myself, my 9 years old self, that I would be doing all those things, I would never imagine, I would never believe it. And if I compare my life, my first life before I became a developer, and get those 5-10 years where I was working at the Justice Council and I did a degree in psychology, and I compare to this 10 years after I did that decision, I like to call my second life. It's crazy to see how much further I went, and how many things I achieved, and even impossible to imagine. Like, you never know where this life is going to take you when you do those decisions. And this is the result of living the answer for that question. When you when you really are true to yourself, give yourself a space to really think deep. What is the thing you love? What would be the work you would do for free? The work you would do for passion that would really fulfill your needs in life, and something that you'd be like later not regretting. I know it's hard to think, okay, I may not have time to do those changes now. I can't go back in the past, but I think that at least right now, if you do the change and the decision, our new life can be starting today. And that's why I want to give you also this opportunity to think about it today. Imagine you are now having this opportunity to really start over, to really have a second life. What would you do if your life started right now? Thank you.
I don't think I was ready to have that deep introspective moment at the end of your presentation. Anna,
Sorry
your
to go
story is
back to
amazing.
people, but I think it's really good to give people that opportunity. That changed my life, and I really hope it can change many people's lives
Well,
in any
it's
career, of
amazing.
course.
It's amazing to see your passion and your energy, your drive hard at work. So thank you for sharing that story with us. Really appreciate it.